Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this Christmas throw pillow. It's a quick and easy pattern. It's one piece, no panels to worry about, and it has the flap at the back so it's easy to take off and wash, and there's no need for any fasteners, no buttons, no zippers. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook and Bernat premium yarn. I've also included a link in the description below for the written pattern. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with a starting loop. And you can go ahead and get that onto your hook. And we're going to make a chain of 51. So yarn over, pull right through your loop. Yarn over and pull through your loop. You're going to keep on going until you get to a chain of 51 and then come back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. All right, so we're going to work a double crochet into the fourth chain from our hook. These first three chains here that we're skipping over are going to count as a double crochet. So let's go ahead and work our double crochet, our first one, into that fourth chain from our hook. Yarn over, push your hook through that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now this is going to count as 2 double crochets at the start of our work. Now we'll begin our pattern for that ripple stitch. So we're going to double crochet into each of the next 3 chain spaces. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work our first dip in the ripple stitch. Okay. So you're going to yarn over your hook and we're going to work a double crochet decrease. So push your hook in that next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and go into the very next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the last 3 loops on your hook. That's 1 double crochet decrease. We're going to do it again. Yarn over, push your hook in that next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go into the next chain. Okay, yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the remaining 3 loops on your hook. So now we've worked 2 double crochet decreases. We're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 chains. We'll be working our 3 double crochets between each dip and peak of our ripple stitch. Okay, so we need 1 more double crochet here to get to 3. And now we're going to work our first peak in the ripple stitch. Just grabbing a little bit more yarn here. Okay, so now in that next chain, we're going to work 2 double crochets into that same chain. And we're going to do the same thing in that very next chain space. Okay. You can see the dip, the peak, and now we're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 chain spaces. And you're just going to continue on working your, so 1 double crochet in each of these next 3 chain spaces, and then we're going to work another 2 double crochet decreases. This is 1 decrease. And we're going to work 1 more. And you're just going to continue on all the way down the row, working, alternating these stitches. So now we're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3. Then we're going to do another peak, which is 2 double crochets into each of these next 2 chains. And then you're going to keep going. So you're just going to keep following this same pattern all the way to the very end of your work and then come back. Okay, so now we're here at the end of our row and we have 1 chain space left. We're going to work 2 double crochets into this last chain space. We want to start and end each row with 2 double crochets. So let's go ahead and work our 2 double crochets into this last stitch. This is going to give us a stitch count of 49. Okay. Now to begin the next row, we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. That chain 2 is going to count as a double crochet. You can do a chain 3, but I just don't like the little gap it leaves, so I prefer a chain 2. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet in that first stitch. So it's like we're starting our row with 2 double crochets, and now we'll begin our repeat pattern for the ripple stitch. So work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitch spaces. All right, so there we go. And now we got to our first dip. We're going to work a double crochet decrease twice. That's 1. And 1 more double crochet decrease. And now we're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches to work our way over to the peak. And now we're at the peak. We're going to work 2 double crochets into each of the next 2 stitches. And in the one beside it, we're going to work 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. And now we're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches to work our way over to the next dip. And you're just going to continue on following this all the way till the end of the row and then come back. Okay, so now here we are at the end of our row. We need to remember that this chain space from the start of the last row counts as a double crochet. So we're going to work our 2 double crochets to end the row in the top of that chain space. And now we're going to begin our next row. All right, you can really see that pattern starting to take effect. We're going to chain 2 and turn our work. We're going to do 1 more row of red. So you're going to follow the same pattern all the way to the end and then come back and we'll switch our colors to white. Okay, so here we are after you finish that 3rd row. So we've got 3 rows of red. We're now going to switch our color to white. You can of course switch the colors however you want to, but if you're wanting to get the pattern exactly as you saw it in the picture that led you to this video, I've alternated red, white, green, white, red, white, green, white, like that. Try and give it that little candy cane effect. So just make a starting loop with your white yarn. Go ahead and pull that into the loop that you were already working with, and now you'll do your chain 2 to turn your work. And for the first couple stitches, I like to work around both of the pieces of yarn and then still fasten it off to weave the tail ends in, but of course do this part however you like. We're just continuing the pattern on as we have been. So I'm doing a double crochet in that very first stitch, remembering that the chain 2 counts as a double crochet, and now we'll begin our repeat pattern for the ripple stitch. I love when you change colors using this stitch because it really, really defines the beautiful ripple pattern. Okay, and you're just going to go ahead and continue on. Like I said, I don't work over both of the pieces of yarn for the whole thing. I just do a few stitches, fasten it off. I end up with a ton of tail ends at the end of my project, but it's really up to you however you want to do that part with the color changing. All right, so now we're just going to continue on working the pattern as we have been. The only thing that's changed right now is that we changed the color. So I got to my first dip here. I'm going to be working my double crochet decrease twice. So that's 1. And now I'm doing another one for the second. And I'm going to work 1 double crochet into each of those next 3 stitches to work my way over to the peak. And I'm working 2 double crochets into each of those next 2 stitches for the peak. And then of course, we're just going to continue on just like this. You're going to be working 1 double crochet into each of those next 3 stitches to get to the dip and so on. So you're going to keep on following this pattern until you get to a total of 66 rows worked. Okay. So keep on going, just alternating the colors however you like. And when you get to 66 rows, come on back. All right, so now that you've finished all of your rows of work, you should have this one really long piece of finished work. And I'll show you how we're going to complete it. I really do like this because it's a simple way of not having to do too much connecting of panels. And there's going to be no need for any fasteners either, because we're going to do a flap at the back of the pillow. So it makes it easy to take it on and off and wash it. Now, when you are putting your pillow insert, if you're using a standard throw pillow, which is usually around 17 by 17 inches, you're going to notice that it's going to look like the pillow is a little bit too wide for your work, but don't worry, because yarn stretches over time. You don't want it to be too loose either. It's going to be a perfect snug fit, so don't let that part stress you out. Let's go ahead and eyeball where we want this to go. I usually like to just fold it over, see how I want the flap to be, where I'm happy with it. That is perfect for me. I'm going to get my measuring tape and I'm going to measure where exactly I want the flap. So when I take the pillow insert out, I know exactly where I want it to be for the purpose of closing my sides. So if we measure it out, it's 7 inches of hangover for the flap. Okay, so that you can even look at the rows because of the color changes. That makes it easy too. So I'm like, okay, from the green down to the white at the end of my work is where I'm going to want to fold it for the purpose of closing up my sides. Now I'll worry about weaving in all the tail ends later. You'll just use your yarn needle, your tapestry needle, and weave them into some of the stitches. We'll worry about that after. Let's go ahead and get this done. Now for the sewing of the sides, we're going to fold our flap in first because we want to remember while we're closing the seams along the side of our work, right now our work is inside out. So when we flip it around, we want to make sure that it's nice clean lines with the flap being accessible and over top of our work. So while we're doing this part to close our seam, we're going to fold that flap to the inside and we're going to put this long portion over top of it right to the end of our work. This part is really important. I've learned the hard way. It is terrible when you get everything done, you weave in those tail ends just to realize that your finished product looks like it's inside out. So make sure that you have the flap on the inside of your work right now. And we're going to go ahead and close our seams on both sides of our work, just with our hook and some slip stitches. Let's go ahead and do that together. So I'm just going to be closing my sides using white yarn. You can use whatever color you want. If you really want to get fancy, you can alternate the colors all the way down the side. I'm going to keep it simple and do it with just white. I find that it turns out beautifully. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make sure that we have all 3 of the edges lined up. We're going to start up here at the top. So for a portion of our work, the first 7 inches of our work, we're going to be working through 3 edge pieces. Okay, and then it's going to transition into 2 edge pieces the further down we go. So let's get our hook into the very top corner here, right through all 3 sides of our first edge. I've already made my starting loop on my yarn, so I'm going to just go ahead and grab that. I'm just making sure everything is lined up evenly. I'm going to grab my loop and get it onto my hook, and I'm going to pull it through carefully. It could be a little tricky, and do a chain 1 to secure it. Now we're just going to work slip stitches, so push your hook right through. Do your best just to work evenly. You're not working into stitches right now. You're just working down the side of your work. Yarn over and pull up that loop. Take your time, don't rush it, and pull it right through the loop on your hook to complete your slip stitch. And that's all I'm really doing. I'm just going to work slip stitches evenly all the way down the side of my work, being sure to work through all 3 sides until I get down past that flap, and then making sure that I'm just closing up the rest of the seam, working down the 2 sides. So go ahead and do that down both sides of your work and then come back. All right, so now that you've got both sides of your work closed up, I'm going to show you how I weave in my tail ends, just in case if any of you are completely brand new to crochet. I'm going to just thread my yarn needle, and all I'm doing is, now this part I will make sure that the colors are matching. I will weave the white yarn into a couple of the white stitches, green yarn into a couple of the green stitches, and the red yarn into a couple of the red stitches. I just do it for a couple of stitches. I find that that's plenty. Fasten it off right down to the end of it there. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that for all of the tail ends of my work. In just a moment, I will show you the clean finished product, but let's just take a look at how this is going to appear once we flip it the right way. So remember, it's inside out right now. Let's flip it around the right way. And there's our flap that we'll be able to fold over as intended. You can get your hand in there and push those corners out so they're not folded in. And doing the same thing at the bottom of my pillow. Well, the pillow cover. I love this because it does make it easy to wash. And there's that flap. It opens really nice and wide, so it's easy to get your pillow insert inside there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Just trying to get you a good look at stuffing it in there. And it's machine washable if you're using the Bernat premium yarn. I find most yarns are anyway, but I just pull these pillow covers off, throw them in the washer and dryer. It's great. So it's a perfect thing that can become a special staple piece in your Christmas home decor for years to come. You don't have to worry about the pillow getting all gross over time because you can easily wash it and enjoy it every single year. So that's how it will look when it's all done. I really love the ripple stitch, and I like these alternating colors because it does remind me of a candy cane. So I hope that you've enjoyed this pattern. I'm going to go ahead and weave my tail ends in and show you the finished product. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a look at the helpful links in the description below and enjoy your finished work. Here it is, all completed with the tail ends weaved in. Thanks for joining me.